let's look at what is bear put spreads or bear debit spreads. Bear means you are looking for it to go down. If you are bearish the market, you're looking for it to go down. Okay, it is a bearish strategy. We buy one put which is closer to the stock price and simultaneously sell a put that is further away from the stock price and also from the put that we have bought. So currently Apple is at 131.96. So you buy a 130 put while simultaneously selling 125 put for $1.95. Okay, so the width of the spread, okay, you buy 130, sell 125, the width is 130 minus 125 is $5. So for that $5 spread, you are paying $1.95. Okay, now what happens at expiration? Let's see different scenarios. At expiration, okay, if Apple closes at 120, which means it really fell. Okay, it is right now at 131.96 and fell more than $10. You bought the 130 put which says that you have the right to sell Apple at 130 and the price is at 120. So your right to sell at 130 became really valuable. Okay, but you are obligated to buy at 125 because you sold that even though the price is at 120. So let's see what the premiums are going to be. Okay, so the 130 put is, the value is going to be $10. 130 minus 120, what is the put that you bought versus what is the price that is right now. Okay, so that value is $10 and the value of 125 put is 125 minus 120, which is $5. So you can, and what is going to be your profit? This 10 minus 5, you will make $5. So which is also the width of the spread. So when you buy a $5 wide put spread, the max you can make is $5 and you have to subtract of course what you paid for it. You paid $1.95 and you can sell it for $5. So your max profit over here is $3.05. You know what happens? All the extrinsic value will become zero and the stock at expiration will only have intrinsic value. Okay, so now let's look at case 2. If Apple closes at 131, that means it fell only 96 cents till expiration. So whatever you bought 130 will become zero and the 125 will also become zero. It is nowhere close to your price. So they both are out of the money. So 130 put becomes zero, 125 put becomes zero. So you have a loss of $1.95. Okay, now third scenario, Apple closes in between what you bought and what you sold. Apple closes at 127. So you bought the 130 put, okay, and you have to sell that because the price is at 127. But you're obligated to buy it at 125. But right now it is at 127. So that is out of the money. So that 125 will become fully zero, but your 130 put has gained value and it is going to be the 130 minus 127. So you have $3 that is worth $3, but your 125 becomes zero because it is out of the money. So profit of 3 minus 195 is $1.05. Okay, is what you will make. Now let's see why we are talking about this bear put spread when you could just buy a put. Okay, I could buy just a 130 put, right? What would that worth be? Now you know 130 minus 125. When you buy a put spread, whatever is the width of the spread is the max profit. You cannot. The market can crash how much ever it wants. Apple can go tomorrow to $50. You are still going to make only $5, correct? So what would the 130 put be worth if you had only bought $130 put and it went to 120? Apple went to 120. Okay, the 130 put currently is at $4.80 and you have the right to sell that at 120. Currently it's at 120. So if you had only bought the $130 put, then at expiration Apple stock would be worth $10. You would have made $5.20 as profit. So by selling the $125 put against the 130 put, you are capping off the max profit to the width of the spread. Okay, and that is how it is. Okay, you start here and then you cap it off. The profit is capped off, but you are paying less too. Instead of paying $4.80, you are paying only $1.95. Okay, so by capping off the profit, you are reducing your debit too. So let's look at the pros. Okay, smaller debit, instead of paying $4.80, you're paying only $1.95. Smaller debit is, in my mind, smaller risk because you are using a smaller amount of capital to the total account balance that you have. So you are going to lose less. Okay, it brings the break-even price closer. Okay, what do you mean by break-even prices? We talked about it. You buy 130 put at $4.80. So at expiration, if the stock has to close below 130 minus 480 is going to be 125.20. You want and you have to have Apple close below 125.20 for you to make any money on this. That is if you hold till expiration. Okay, but by selling 130, by buying 130 and then selling 125, I paid only $1.95. So at expiration, my break even is only $1.95 below 130, which means 130 minus 195 is going to be 128.05. Okay, anywhere below 128.05, if Apple closes, I will make money. So I need a smaller movement and I can hold it till expiration for making money, whereas I need a bigger movement if I want to hold it till expiration. Okay, so it brings the break-even prices closer and hence increases the probability of you making money on the trade. It is a good substitute for smaller accounts or higher price stocks. Okay, we just looked at SPX puts for 5th February, which means I'm expecting it in 5 days. If it has you're talking about 200 points below, I had to pay $21, which means 21 times 100, you're talking about $2,100 for a 200 point move for only 5 days on SPX. So since SPX is such a big, you're talking about an entire index, it's a big, you can use debit spreads. So you're using less capital. Okay, so that is one thing. Let's look at the next part. Okay, cons, there are two cons. I've written only one. It limits the profit. You cap off. Okay, so when there is a market crash or you're expecting a bigger move, okay, and you're expecting bigger volatility in the market, debit spreads will limit your profit. That's it.